What are you even doing?
I counted you down.
I know you counted me down, but you skipped some numbers.
No,
there.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I said 3, 2, 1, 7, 5, 9. So technically, I counted down and then up and then down and then up again.
Well, this is one way to open the show.
And then I said, "Hey,
hey,
which is what made you laugh.
Yeah, because football. But
hey,
I don't even know what. Anyways, welcome back.
So
this episode of
Crash
and Burn.
You'll notice that Abby has a mic straight up her nose.
Yeah, because apparently I'm too soft-spoken and no one can hear me. And, sometimes I'm okay with that. Because sometimes I'm like, Abby, stop. Just bring it down some.
So, we've done some remixes of, trying to figure out what was the best.
Yeah.
Where we needed to put the mic between us. And we just figured out that, that's just where the mic needs to be.
Apparently, Abby needs to be making out with a microphone for everybody to hear me.
I mean, get your practice in now.
That's what I always wanted. Microphone makeouts.
Is it weird that you'd be making out with a mic?
Oh, that's too far. Too far. Let's move on. We're moving on.
So, anyway, two things.
Okay, one. That's how you count. 1, 2.
Oh, is that how you count?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There you go. 10. There you go. I know.
I don't think I can handle this.
You can also use your fingers. Oh, what? Mind blown. What? Anyways.
I was actually going to go for the full-on what, but because of the testosterone, I really didn't want to squeak and, crack.
Your voice
I just stopped. It does. It's ridiculous.
What?
No, you want to hear it?
Yeah.
You legit want to hear it?
Yes.
What? What? Only dogs can hear me now.
Well, stop before you hurt yourself.
I know, right? The dogs all from the neighborhood are like, stop it, stop it, stop it.
What is that noise?
Yeah, so my voice cracks constantly. Okay, but, so, on the road today, no, not today, sorry, yesterday, I got sniffed ridiculously by a dog, all up in my business yesterday. Oh,
that's why you made that comment about dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all up in my business yesterday.
I was really confused on where you were going with this.
I felt extremely violated, right? At first it was kind of flattering because, that's how dogs greet each other. Then I realized, okay, this is getting a little too out of hand. Excuse me. So I told the dog, no offense, but you don't have the right plumbing. I'm not into outdoor plumbing. And you're also not my species. With the owner standing right there, by the way. So.
Dear God.
I know. Owner was a little backwoods.
Yeah.
So the moment I said it, I was like, oh, crap.
Oh, no.
And then, so the dog dog was relentless.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, 1, I know I showered. 2, I know that I've sweat, but still, it shouldn't be that bad.
Right.
So the owner was like, said, stop it. You don't have the right plumbing. And I was like, oh, genius. Yes, I've made my impact of the day, right? Okay, so with that, also turn around and I'm listening to what I've never thought I'd listen to in my life is podcast.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
So as I'm leaving this person's driveway, I turn back on the podcast that I'm listening to, and they're talking about ghosts, all supernatural, creepy stuff. And I'm like, what a segue. 2 completely different aspects of life. Mm-hmm. I just got sniffed up by a dog. Now I'm going to learn about the supernatural.
It's they don't even relate.
No, they don't. So that was literally my day yesterday.
Okay, sniffing dogs.
No, sniffed up by a dog.
Sniffed up by a dog.
Because there's felt up by humans and sniffed up by dogs.
Both
inappropriate. I understand, yes. And unwelcome.
I think I would prefer the dog.
No, I totally would. I mean,
felt up by the human.
Let's get real.
Yeah.
If I get sniffed up by a dog, my wife's going to go, oh, you must have smelled good. If I get felt up by a human, my wife is going to go on a rampage.
She might kill you.
Me? I didn't do it.
Oh, well.
I mean, she would kill me in the process because I, quote unquote, allowed it to happen. Let's not. I didn't stop them. They could have been holding a gun to my head and I didn't stop them. But, I'd probably feel the same way if somebody felt her up.
I'm about to drop you some knowledge here.
Okay.
Do better.
I don't know how.
I'm backing out now.
It's mic drop.
Mike's right up in my nose.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. So, Sniffed Up by Dog.
Yep.
Podcast.
Yes. Which is the great segue to...
A podcast?
Yeah.
That was a huge question mark at the end.
Yeah, there was.
Let me ask you this question. The world wants to know. We're all on the edge of our seats.
No, you're not.
And by the world, I mean the 32 followers got on, not Instagram, but...
Technically, there's, what did we say, 28? Because you're one, I'm one, April's one. So
all of you on YouTube.
Knock those down.
Sup. Hi. By the way, my mom is not a subscriber.
Your mom. Your mom, and this is not a your mama joke. I text your mom to try to get to try to meet up with her on Sunday after church.
Right.
She never texted me back.
She never texted me back. So
you told me that she would text.
She should have texted.
She did not.
She's probably on her 4th nap of the day. She probably slept right through it.
I texted her on Saturday.
She probably slept through it.
And I said, "Hey, just wondering what time you get out of church tomorrow. Love, your favorite." And you know, I'm still waiting on a reply.
You're still waiting on a reply.
I'm still waiting on a reply.
It is actually Thursday.
I know.
Thursday.
It is actually Thursday. It's not even close to midnight.
This is totally on...
So I've been waiting, 5-6 days now for your mom to text me back?
I will get a hold of her.
Well, you tell her I'm disappointed.
If she'll answer my calls.
You just go over and you knock on the door.
I'm like,
and you say, I
still have a house key. I'll just open the door.
No, you should knock on the door like a telegram person.
Okay.
Knock on the door. Singing telegram. Your favorite is disappointed in you.
Text crash back. Okay, bye. And then you shut the door.
Yeah, do it.
Peace out, Mom.
You've disappointed yet another child. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, that was rude.
Mom, on your long list of disappointed children, you now have Crash on there.
Added number 6.
Added number 6.
So, anyway, you said something about your mom. Anyway, but that's your mom never texted me back. I meant to tell you that all week.
And you didn't.
And I didn't.
That's okay.
So now I'm telling you.
My sister literally talked to my mom today.
I know that and your sister still has to give me that recipe. You know what? You're family.
I told her to send the recipe over, but does she listen to me? No.
I'm starting to feel very neglected as the favorite.
I'll get your recipe for you. I'll get it for you.
I held up on my end of the deal, and I'm feeling very neglected.
You know what's funny, though? Is I've called you twice this week.
You have.
I have.
You've called me twice.
Actually,
if you consider the dropped calls between our
10 times.
Sucky service. Yeah, you've called me probably about anywhere half a dozen to a dozen times this week. In the last 2 days.
No, I lost him. Oh, dang it.
Yep. I'm like, hello?
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 I've still got service. Hello? Ah, nuts.
I'm sitting here talking about the license plate in front of me, and I'm thinking, this is funny.
Why are you not laughing at my joke?
Okay.
Click. Oh,
dang it.
You know, April had brought up a really good point. Is that when you used to lose a call, when you used to, quote, lose a call back in the 90s, you heard the click.
You heard the click.
You don't hear
the click now. No, you're talking to air until you realize that no one's on the phone.
Or until it rings back in your ear.
Right,
and you're like,
oh, wait.
Whoa.
I thought we were on the phone the whole time.
Whoa.
It was 2 license plates. It's the 2 license plates I was like really excited about yelling out while I was driving today.
2?
Yeah.
Well, Peggy.
No, Debbie.
Oh, yeah, Debbie.
Debbie.
Debbie and her Lexus.
Debbie and her Lexus just driving so slow.
Looks like a librarian. Shout out to Debbie the librarian.
Hi, Debbie the librarian.
You know she's not a librarian if she's driving a Lexus. Unless it was a 90s model Lexus.
It was like a 2021 most likely. I know. Fancy Lexus.
Maybe she's a librarian, her husband's an oil rig dude.
Possibly.
And that's why she's all snooty.
She's like, Debbie, I was like, drive. It's the freaking turnpike. You could go 75, 80.
Gas is on the right.
Gas. Let's break more gas. I just kept saying, Debbie, move, Debbie. And I can't remember what the first one was, like FOMO or something like that.
I don't know. I didn't hear any of that.
Apparently it wasn't
as memorable.
Was Debbie.
Shout out to Debbie on the turnpike.
Debbie on the turnpike, going down the creek. Pickups in the past.
In your Lexus.
In your Lexus.
You hot shot hoity-toity biznitch.
He's like, I'm 75. And I talk like this.
I'm 75 in a 2000s model Lexus that I have to get my walker out of.
It's got little tennis balls on the end. So don't scum the floor. Sorry.
I cannot scoff the floor.
I cannot scoff the floor.
My husband will kill me, and I'm already close to that anyway.
Everything's marble. Watch my koi pond.
Oh, pond. I want a pond.
I want a Shark Tank.
I want a pond so bad.
I like to go fishing.
I delivered to somebody today that had a pond in their front yard with a fountain, and there was one thing that crossed my mind. Snakes. But then I was like, well, maybe if I put mothballs all around my pond, then I thought, God, that's a lot of mothballs. So I opted for a smaller pond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah, smaller pond.
Debbie.
Fountain. Debbie.
I don't think I'll ever hear the word name Debbie without laughing now.
Definitely not. You're immediately Debbie with Alexis.
Debbie with Alexis on the creek.
Damn it, Debbie. You can't even repeat that.
Okay.
No, okay.
I don't want to drive there tomorrow, see if she's on the turnpike at the same time. Maybe it's her way of getting home.
Maybe. And then you know what you should do?
What? You
should put a sign in the back window that says, "Hi, Debbie."
This one's for you, Debbie.
You should. That would be awesome. As you go by, just hold it up on your driver's side and just linger there until she looks at you.
Like, yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Everybody wants to know what Debbie looks like now. Debbie's a librarian.
Yeah, the stereotypical librarian that you think of, like the one off of the commercials where they're like, stereotypical.
Straight up, yeah.
I didn't even see her, but this is how I envisioned her.
That's basically what she looked like.
Did she have the little bun in her hair with a pencil through it?
No, she didn't have that going on. She had her hair was long, blonde.
Damn it, blondes.
She had
no offense.
She had her glasses on, and she was just 10 and 2.
10 and 2?
10 and 2.
Doesn't she know the new is 9 and 3? Or just 6?
No, well... Usually, me, it's knee on the 6. Knee on the 6.
Knee on the 6?
Knee on the 6.
You're lucky if you can get your knee on the 6. Mine's more like a knee on the 5.5. Because I got short legs.
Or I'll put my hand, on my knee and just hold it, there, and then I'll move my knee and it moves my hand.
I'm chilling like a cholo.
I do that sometimes. But then all my training comes back to me and I switch it over to 9 and 3.
No, most of the time, my hands are if it has because some steering wheels have what I call the bridge, where you got the horn in the middle and then it connects to the sides.
Right.
Some of them just connect down. Some of them do all three. So I'm normally almost like my bowling fingers is what I, are gripping the bridge on either side.
Well, I did that once when I first started driving as a profession, and I almost broke my wrist. So I don't put my hands there anymore.
Oh, well.
Because my hand I was going to turn the wheel and my hand got caught and I was like, whoa, almost broke my wrist. So I don't do that anymore.
So basically what you're telling me is that you're not talented in the cholo way?
We should know that Abby's not talented, period.
That's not true. Abby's very talented.
Abby is very talented in sarcasm. I graduated top my class.
Fluent
and valedictorian standards. No, I'm talking about I can do I can't even say it. I can do the wrist hanging on the steering wheel. And by nobody on Spotify is what we're talking about. Where you literally just rest your arm on the top of the steering wheel.
Yeah, you're chilling like a cholo.
Yeah, just doing that thing. And
people on Spotify should know chilling like a cholo.
I'm talking about when you're holding the inside of the steering wheel.
Yeah.
Put your hands there? No.
You don't hold the inside. You just kind of rest your fingers.
No, that's what I'm saying. My hand, I went to turn, my hand got caught in the wheel.
How are you so uncoordinated that you caught your hand in an open wheel?
I ask myself that question all the time. Abby, what are you doing in life? Where did this happen? Were you dropped on your head as a child?
All I can envision you is turning and forgetting to let go of your right hand off of the wheel. And so your left hand just entangles itself in the right hand. And then...
I don't know. I think I went to turn.
All of a sudden you're holding your own hands, just spinning the wheel. Spinning the wheel with your index finger while you're holding your own hand. I wanna hold your
Everybody's
hand.
judging me right now.
Everybody is judging you, and you know
but
what?
That's okay. Judge me away. That's fine. I got caught up in the wheel, almost broke my wrist, and I don't do it anymore.
That's the moral of the story.
Moral of the story is I don't put my hand there. That's the moral of
the story.
Anymore.
If you're uncoordinated, don't do the 9 and 3 bridge holding thing. Don't hold your bridge. Don't.
Stay on the outside of the wheel. Don't go on the inside.
Yeah. Stay on the outside of the lane.
Stay in your lane. Period. that could expand. That spans It's like it's wide. It's wide.
It's you know what?
It's just for a variety of things, stay in your own lane.
Oh, burn it. So, the podcast.
Yeah.
That you so happily
get right back on. Get back on path.
No, stay in your own lane. We have been all right.
I'm packing up. I'm going home. I'll see you later. Have fun talking to yourself.
We have been every day.
Every day.
The voices in my head have so many accents. Not even funny. You know what I haven't done though? Talking about accents and voices. What? I haven't tried any of my accents since my testosterone kicked in.
Are you gonna do it now?
I don't know.
Should we come back to it?
Maybe.
We'll come back to it.
I mean, we might end up coming back to it. We may not.
We may not get back to it next week.
Yeah. So, anyway, podcast.
Yeah, podcast.
That you introduced me to.
Uh-huh.
I have never listened to a podcast in my life.
Never?
Never. I've not even, not since like elementary school have I even listened to like a book on audio. I've got plenty of time on my hands.
Right.
But I'm more of a music person, something I can sing along to and bop, not necessarily listening to somebody talk to me. So, you've been very adamant, very persistent.
I've been very persuasive. Is that where we want to go with too?
Well, I'll get there.
Okay.
You've been very persistent about the Creep Over.
Oh, yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, so much so that you went and bought a ball cap for me.
I did.
Which, by the way, I'm not a big fan of the trucker netting thing, but I do wear this ball cap with pride. Like, super excited about it.
Good.
And I was even wearing it before I even listened to episode 1. Mm-hmm. I'm like, my buddy bought me this one. Don't have a freaking clue what this is about, but you know what? I'm going to wear this hat.
Yeah.
I'm now 12 episodes in.
Good job.
Thanks.
I'm so proud.
I know. Thoroughly enjoying it. So much so that I've got maybe another friend of mine watching it.
Nice.
And my wife, not watching it, but listening to it.
Yeah.
And then my wife is 3 episodes in.
I know.
Which I'm super impressed about.
Right. I'm actually pretty happy.
So,
I'm really proud.
Yeah, Abby's mouth works.
Abby's mouth works. Except sometimes it doesn't work. If you watch this long enough, you understand that gibberish comes out all the time.
English is hard.
English is hard. But no, I've been I love that podcast.
Yeah, you've been a faithful follower for a while now.
Yeah. Almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love them.
I know. I texted you today. I was like,
yeah.
Are you this handle? And you're like, why, yes, I am. And I'm like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
And then I kind of made fun of your handle, but it was okay because it was.
Well, who doesn't?
It was accurate.
It is very accurate.
It was accurate.
It's very good. It was actually a very good play on words.
I thought so too.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. One of my finer moments today.
Yeah, one of your finer moments. I'm actually really happy, because I've been talking about them for a long time, and most people are like, "Shut up, Abby." And I'm just like, I'm still going to talk about it. That's fine. That's fine.
You're still going to have to listen to me.
You're still going to listen to me. You're going to have to, what's that favorite thing I do? Put something and then have them get over it. This is your issue. Get over it. So I'm just like, sometimes I just talk to myself because, like we said, no one really listens to me anymore.
That's not true. I listen to you.
Wait, what'd you say? I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
But yeah, I talk about them all the time.
You really do.
I do. I really do.
So, but you told me that basically, so the Creep Over, for those who don't know,
right,
is
a creepy good time. I had to do it.
All I can say is Allie and Catherine will be so proud of you right now.
I hope so.
That was spooktacular.
Good job. In their words, it's a slumber party podcast. You never knew you needed.
Yes, and yeah, I've got to say, it's not something I would listen to at night. But here's the thing, and Catherine can probably. I don't know how she does this, but I am not
into scary things.
I'm not enthralled at all by scary things. I don't like scary movies. My wife, on the other hand, April, loves scary movies. Right. She's super into them, has a complete tattoo on her leg devoted to the scary movie, horror movie themes. I, on the other hand, can probably list the scary movies I've willingly watched on one hand. Mm. At 34, that's not a lot.
And here I am. I can watch a scary movie and sleep.
No, I can't, because my mind goes to the probability of it could be the most ridiculous scary movie ever. Right. Like the most ridiculous, could never happen in a million years scary movie. Mm-hmm. And I will pick out the one scenario that could be plausible. Right. Make it plausible. Right. Worry about it. Mm-hmm. Plan for it. Never sleep. Because I will plan for it. This is what could happen. This is how it would play out. This is how I would get my children out of the house. And the next thing I know is I'm like, crap, I gotta get up for work. I don't sleep.
But that's what like real world stuff to me. Like if I watch the news or I read a news report of like stuff that's happened, then that's me. That's when I can't sleep. Mm-hmm. But a scary movie, that's a different, like I'm like, no. That's a different thing. Like I can fall asleep and be fine.
No, I'm screwed. Like April and I have a cutoff time for when we can watch real stuff. Because what is that? Like not NCIS. Criminal Minds.
Right. Oh yeah, that one's.
There was a cutoff. Mm-hmm. I was like, I can't watch that after a certain time.
Right.
SVU, can't watch that after a certain time. All of her Discovery. ID, like, whatever.
True crime stuff? No,
I can't do it after a certain
story.
time.
Yeah, that's a different story.
The same goes for, like, I could probably watch a scary movie during the day because there's plenty of stuff afterwards that I could do to forget about it.
Do you watch a scary movie and then watch a Disney movie?
No, because half the time during the Disney movie, I'm like, you know that Michael Myers guy? Huh. Or the complete opposite. I will pick it so bad that it's no longer enjoyable. Like, I will pick at it so much that it's no longer enjoyable, and it's no longer just a piece of entertainment.
Okay, gotcha.
So, what cracked me up is that I don't do scary stuff. But I'm like, yeah, let me listen to this podcast. Sure, why not? I have no idea what they're talking about half the time. I really don't. I don't have a clue what half of these movies are that they mention. Mm-hmm. I don't have a clue. Like, they were talking about, nope. See? Don't even know because
you lost it.
Yeah. Some of the movies. I don't know. I don't know what they are. But I find the trivia extremely interesting.
Yeah.
They go off on rabbit trails much like we do, which is super relatable. Mm-hmm. And just, I mean, let's get right down to it. It's kind of cool that they're lesbians too. I'm just gonna say it. It's kind of cool that they're lesbians.
They're married.
Yeah,
I think that's awesome.
But they weren't in the episodes where I'm listening to right now. They weren't, and you can definitely tell a difference in the dynamic of dating versus possibly a married couple. You know, you go, oh, in my house, and I'm like, wait, oh, right, not married yet. Got it. Not married yet. Okay. Oh, and my dog. Oh, not married yet. So, but like, but you can't really tell that they're a couple, which is really cool too. I think that's really cool because there's not a whole lot of like, oh, that's I love you, and there's not a lot of that, and it's just very much they're super supportive though.
They are.
And I like that dynamic. I really do. Because there's a lot of negative in the world.
There is a whole lot of negative. They're hilarious, too. I
find myself laughing, but then I find myself shaking my head a lot, too. Like, they mentioned that they were, one of them was born in 93.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dang, 90s, baby. And they're talking about stuff like they remember watching or doing. And I was like, yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. But I'm like, gosh, I was old. Like, I was a whole 9 years old in 93.
Right.
9? No, I wasn't.
I don't remember how old I was.
7. I was 7 in 93, so you'd have been 5.
5, yeah.
But, like, you know, I'm just like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I love them because I don't feel like... I text you today, like, why I was like, because I love them so much. It's because I don't feel like a freak around them, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't been around them.
Right, but...
Not yet, anyways. COVID, I hate it. But, like, just talking with them and sharing stories and stuff. Yeah.
They're super open-minded.
Yes.
And
it's nice. And
one is very much in line with you being a skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
Very much a show me.
Right.
But, and correct me if I'm wrong, but one of them was brought up Christian?
I think both of them were.
Well, one today said that they were Calvinism.
That must have been an early episode. I can't remember it.
Yeah, 11 or 12, somewhere around there. But I had to look that up.
Right.
But it's kind of, they called it, somebody called it Flavors of Christianity. And it was one of their guests. Mm-hmm. It may have been the Shannon guest. Mm-hmm. But Flavors of Christianity. And I was like, that's so true.
It really is true.
It's like the alphabet community.
True. Right.
Like the LGBT plus or the alphabet community. So
because you got like Pentecostals, Baptists,
exactly.
Catholics,
exactly,
Methodists.
So
that all fit into the category of Christian.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
But I mean, I'm not really a religious person.
Right.
I used to be.
Right.
But I'm very much a relationship person.
Right.
So, I like the fact that they're coming at it from not only just their perspective and what they do, mm-hmm. but also they encourage what other people go through. Mm-hmm. And being very open-minded in that sense is really awesome.
Yeah.
Even from a skeptic's point of view.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So who's the skeptic?
Catherine.
Catherine's a skeptic. Okay.
Catherine.
I'm still in that stage where I can't tell them apart in their voices. I'm getting there. Mm-hmm. But
right.
I also have a lot of background noise going on, and it's very
like I'm a bit of a skeptic when it comes to all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Get it? Get it?
I'm just gonna sit here and shake my head while you talk.
Like, okay, but no. They're the first ones I like communicated with and told them some stories. Like mm-hmm. told them, I haven't told them all the stories.
Did you tell them you're closeted?
What does that even mean?
Nothing. Keep going.
I'm so confused right now.
It's a gay joke, Abby.
What went right over my head.
And you're tall. No, okay, hang on. So, for those who don't know, my wife is convinced,
yes,
that Abby likes women, but just doesn't know it yet.
You think I get the memo by now, right?
No, because I didn't for a long time. And she goes, it's just one of these days. And I'm like, babe, no, it's not gonna. She one of these days. I'm like, no, it's not.
Is
I don't
it the
think.
Short hair?
No, I don't. I swore to myself I'd never say this, but I think it's just
I open the door by myself.
No.
Make my own sandwiches. Pump my own gas.
Your dad makes his own sandwiches.
That's true.
No. I swore to myself I'd never say
Make
this.
Make sure there's air in my tires.
Otherwise, it's an aura that you put off. It's just something you put off. And maybe it's because you've never dated anybody or been attracted to anybody or anything like that. And so, like, that's automatically just where we go.
Maybe because guys just piss me off all the time because they're idiots.
Maybe.
Just let me do it myself.
Yeah, so, I don't know. But it's super funny because something will come up and my wife is always like, She said something the other day, which right now, honest to God, I cannot remember.
Okay.
But she told me, she goes, and don't you tell, or because I asked her, I was like, Abby's coming over tomorrow. Are you going to tell her? And she goes, no.
Now I'm curious.
I don't remember.
I want to go like call her in here.
I really don't remember. And she goes, and don't you tell her either. And I was like, why? And she goes, because that's our private talk. You don't tell Abby our private talk. And I was like,
I'm in agreement with her. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I honestly can't remember what she said, but it cracked me up, and it's along the same lines because she is very convinced that you're to get back to explaining it to you, a closeted lesbian.
Oh, well, you explained it to me now.
Yeah.
Well.
So I had to throw in the joke.
If I ever get the memo, I'll let her know.
It got lost in USPS mail.
Not the first time that's happened. Probably
it was shipped from China. It got lost with the China mail. In the COVID, it got locked up in quarantine and never got out.
Usually it's I can't even add to that. I can't even. Well, back to my favorite podcast.
So, yes.
Yeah. So, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying.
You were talking about how you didn't feel like a freak and that you had shared stories.
Yeah, I shared some stories. I didn't just share all of my stories. Because sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't share. But I would write down the stuff that happened to me that was odd.
Yeah.
I would write it down. And I have a list of stuff.
So wait a second. How can if these are the things that are odd, then how can you still be a skeptic? Is it because you've never turned around and actually seen a face staring right back at you?
Right, because I can explain it away in my head.
Okay.
Like I can explain it away. Like if I need something like boom.
Like you need somebody to literally push you.
Right. And be like, I need like.
So you want to go on a ghost tour.
Yeah. And be like right there in my face. So
here's a question. You go on a ghost tour. Right. You're a skeptic right now.
Right.
So basically you're a skeptic who wants to be proven wrong.
Right. Right. I don't want to be out there to say, no, you're wrong. Like everybody. I'm a skeptic. I don't believe you. Like people can have their own little things going on with them. But for me, nothing's ever happened to me that I couldn't explain away.
Nothing concrete that's just like, there's no other explanation other than.
Right. Like the few things that have happened to me, I'm like, I feel like I can explain away.
That's fair.
Like exhaustion or
hallucinations.
Tricks. Because your mind is powerful.
True.
And you can conjure up all kinds of things with your head. With your thoughts.
I mean, my wife has conjured up that you're gay, so yes. Right there. Proof right there.
And if I go into a place that I've heard story after story after story after story after story of something happening, then my mind can create these things happening for me.
Okay.
My thing is I want to go in somewhere where I have no stories, like absolutely nothing about this place and something to happen.
But how are you going to do that in a place that, like, okay, so you could walk into a place, it not be haunted, nothing happened, you'd be like, well, okay.
Right.
But you could walk into a place that's known to be haunted, but you've already got these stories in the back of your head.
Right. Well, I mean,
so how are you going to do that?
That's a good question. Because I went to Stone Line Inn in Guthrie, Oklahoma. It's a haunted place. I've watched the episodes, Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters.
Right.
All did an episode there.
Yeah.
I stayed in a room,
braver than me already. I'd be like.
I stayed in the room by myself.
Nope.
I just went up there for one night because I wanted to see, because I was
fucking crazy.
It's over 100 years old.
How much did it cost you?
I think it was like 150, 100 and something one night. So I was like, I'm just going to stay there one night.
Okay.
So they also do a murder mystery there.
Mm-hmm.
So they were doing a murder mystery at the time. So I left and went on a ghost tour of Guthrie. Came back and just settled down for the evening, get ready to go to bed. The house is so old. Like it was a family home. Mm-hmm. And then it was oh Lord, I can't even remember. I did all the research. It was a family home.
Right. It's been handed down.
Right. Handed down. At one point it was changed. A funeral home. And now it's an inn. And the embalming table is still sitting in the hallway. So you
eat dinner off of it?
They had drinks sitting on it. And they had drinks and they had like little snacks.
Were the drinks red?
No. I think they were like.
I think that's a missed opportunity.
Because it was breakfast when I got to.
I don't care. Cranberry juice.
They had orange juice and water and apple juice.
That's a missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Missed it.
That's a missed opportunity, guys. Get it together.
And then they have all this memorabilia. And they feed off of the fact that it's an old home and it was a funeral home.
Sure.
And they feed off of that. Every little step you took, it's original. The wood, everything creaked. So no matter who moved, you heard a creak.
Right.
It was somebody. I mean, like, person upstairs in the middle of the night got up to go to the bathroom. And all you hear is I'm like, okay, go. But I did have to
knock it off. I'm trying to sleep.
I mean, at one point I woke up and it was weird, the layout. The room that I was staying in used to be his cigar room, the original owner.
Okay.
Cigar room.
Okay.
Or his office of some sort, but he used to smoke cigars in there.
Right. But
the way they created, there's right when you open the door, the bathroom is right there, and then you go through another door, and there's the bedroom, because they can transfer it into different rooms to make it into an inn. Right. So when you open the door to go in, the light automatically comes on because it's motion activated. Okay. So as soon as you come in, the light comes on, it's motion activated. Then you go into the bedroom and you flip the light on. So at one point, I woke up and I heard something like going, there's a trash can sitting right by the doorway towards the bathroom. So I heard something like brush against the trash can, and it looked like something moved from that doorway over to the window, and the bathroom light was on. And so I waited for it to go off. And then, because it was off, because I was asleep, right. I was out. And that movement woke me up. And so I went over there and I stood by the doorway trying to trigger it just by standing there. Right. And it wouldn't trigger. You literally have to step into the bathroom for it to trigger. So the light was on, something brushed against the trash can, and went that way. Okay. I can't say if that was anything. It could have just been, I don't know, moth. Something could have triggered the light coming on. Okay. But that's the thing, is I can think these things away. Okay. At one point I woke up smelling, it was like a smell, like a different kind of smell. I checked the sheets, didn't smell like the sheets or anything, like a fabric softener or whatever. I checked the room to see if there was any, like one of those, like that, but there's nothing around. And it was only in one located spot, and then it quickly disappeared. And I didn't smell it the rest of the evening. Okay. And then my last thing that happened, I don't know, those two were, I don't know which order it came in. Those two things happened. But the last thing that happened before I was like, I'm up, I'm done, I had sleep paralysis, which I've had it before. So I can't contribute that to it being a haunted house or just happening. So I've never had that. That I said it was the fuel to my freaked out fire. So I got up. I was up. You were just done. I was done. But yeah, that was but I can't say that is paranormal, because then again, at the back of my head, I've had the stories of what happened. I did talk to the lady before I left, the owner and the housekeeper, and that they said that the smell I smelled was cigar smoke, and it smells exactly like his cigars. How do you know what his cigar smelled like? It was over 100 years ago when he was there. Right. So is there like written facts about that, or what? See, that's me, because I can explain things away. I mean, that's fair. I mean, cigar smoke probably smelled different 100 years ago. Right. I mean, it wasn't laced with whatever we do our tobacco with now. It was probably more pure back then. And I mean, I could have hit something and then just a smell. I was asleep when it woke me up. So I can understand that. But that's good to go in as a debunker. Right. To, be like, nope, this is how it is. Because then when something truly phenomenal happens. Right. And you're like, there's no way. Right. Then it was something actually phenomenal. Right. It was an awful sleep. I think the main thing, the reason why it was awful sleep, is because I was taller than the bed. My feet were hanging off the end of the bed. I was like, and I kept scooting back, and it was just a short bed. I was like, I've never been on a short bed in my life. Wow. And it was just a short bed. I'm like, I'm not that tall for my feet to be like dangling off the end. So it's probably an April-sized bed. Probably. But and then I went in another investigation, and I've done like 2 or 3. So what would be your ideal it's just gotta be notification, right? I don't. Like, obviously, you don't want anything sinister. You don't want to be like, burned or scratched or anything like that. Like, what would be your ideal notification? But then again, at the same time, I'm not going to go like pull out stuff to make it happen.
Right.
Like I'm not going to make it happen.
Right.
So that's just me. I'm not gonna. If it would literally have to be something standing in front of me, by something hopefully human or whatever, standing in front of me and then disappearing like that. Or I need some physical proof of something that's happening.
So, do you think that you could explain away being pushed?
If you were the only one in the room, no. Now, if you're standing still and you're pushed, I don't think I could explain that away. But if you're moving and you say you get pushed, there's a way to explain that away. You just weren't paying attention to your footing. You could have tripped on something and your mind thought you were pushed. You could have, brushed against something that you couldn't see or just different little things. But if you're literally standing in the middle of a room, there's nothing around you.
Right.
And you are pushed enough that it's enough force to move you a couple steps ahead, then yes, I don't think I can explain that away.
I think that would be a good way for you to know.
To get pushed. Well, hopefully not down some stairs.
Well, no, let's not. I said not sinister.
I would like...
Who's the skeptic now?
I don't know if something heavy was lifted and pushed or thrown somewhere. Like literally, there's no way to explain it. No wind.
Right.
It wasn't
so there was a video that I watched. Again during the day. That a bar stool scooted out like somebody was going to sit in it, and then scooted out even more like somebody got pissed. And there was nobody around. There was nothing going on. Like there was no way it could have happened.
Right.
And I was like, I would have pissed myself.
See, that's the thing, though, is I have trust issues already.
Yeah.
So watching video of somebody else doing the video or security camera footage, I'm always like, I'm already downing it already. Just right off the bat.
I'm just like, but even still, like, I don't care if it was rigged. I'm just saying something like that, I would have pissed myself.
I mean, if that really happened, I'd be out the building. I'd be like, okay, I believe, thank you.
And we're done here.
And we're done. Okay, bye.
Skeptic flipped. But me living in a very active house, I go in with a skeptic's mind because I do look for things. No, that could have been the wind. That's why I would love to do an EVP session here in this house. But I know that it's not going to happen because there's too much going on.
Right.
The dogs, the cats, the fact that it's a mobile home and there's not secure wind. Like there's probably leaks all over around the windows. They're not sealed properly. Right. Like I know enough up here to know that that's not an option. Right. But at the same time, because I lived through it as a child and I know what I know as a child. Right. Then I'm not a skeptic in that sense. Like, I know there are, I don't even want to say otherworldly beings. Right. Because, again, I don't know where I stand on the spiritual level versus the worldly level. Right. And
I think that's the difference between us, though, is I believe there's angels and demons. Right. But that's just from my standpoint.
But at the same time, wouldn't you also venture to say there's angels and demons in the flesh as well?
Oh, yeah.
So then who's, at that point, let's say a good person dies. Well, they're obviously going to be more of the angel type, where, say, Charles Manson dies. When he died, obviously probably more the devil type, the demon type. Right. So, there's those conflicting ideas as well that says, okay, well, when somebody dies, then which way do they go? And then you also have if, like in the electric chair, do you have anything else to say? They've already had their sentence, but maybe they've been reformed. They found God or whatever, I found the Lord. Whatever they do and, whatever. Right. But, okay, well, then where do they go?
That was freaking weird.
That was a little weird. I don't know if it picked up on here.
It probably did. I don't know.
If it didn't, my phone just went off.
I don't know.
And the only time it goes off is if I say Google.
Are you scared now?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
I was gonna be like, it's okay.
No, I've forgotten. I'd forgotten I even brought my phone in. It was a little concerning because I know your phone doesn't make that noise.
No, it doesn't. Mm-mm.
But you have the reform.
Right.
So then you're like, well, where do they end up?
Right.
But on more of a ghost idea or more of the afterlife, maybe. The question for me remains, one, why are they stuck here?
Right.
And two, why are they not necessarily stuck where they're at?
Right.
But like, why me?
Right.
Because like I said, I grew up as a kid with all these things, and I'm like, why me?
Right.
Like, but
could it be because you're more open to it?
As children, we are.
Right.
As children, we really are more open to it.
Right.
That's why we're more likely to have imaginary friends. But then, is the imaginary friend really imaginary? Dun dun dun!
That's a good question.
Hey, my voice didn't crack.
Well, I mean, it's weird because sometimes I'll be watching my sister's cat and dog, and then they just stand and stare at something. And if that doesn't freak you out, I don't know what will, because I'm like, what are you freaking looking at?
But then they could turn around and be seeing a fly that you can't see. Right. So like, I'm totally okay with the idea that there is an afterlife. Mm-hmm. Whether that be the heaven or hell. Because here's the thing. I believe in good and I believe in evil. Okay? There is good, there is evil. I believe there's good and evil in everybody. The difference is, where is your middle point? So like, I could be a very evil, sinister person. My mind can be geared that way, but I choose not to let it. So, but because there's good and evil in every person,
sorry,
you're good. You're getting all choked up.
I don't know where it came from.
Because there's good and evil in every person, then at that point, obviously there's going to be good and evil in said afterlife.
Sure.
Okay. In the Christian world, the afterlife is heaven or hell. Right. So you're going to have good and you're going to have evil.
One or the other.
Okay. Yeah. You're going to have heaven, you're going to have hell. So where does a person like me land? Am I the one that's stuck in the middle? And then at that point, what kind of havoc can I wreak?
Honestly,
but you see, like, that's where the skeptic comes in. Like,
I get you. I'm skeptic in that middle part, I guess.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like wanting to find out what's going on, because I believe of, heaven and hell. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what either one of them look like. Right. Don't know what it could be. I just know one I don't want to be in, the other one I'd like to be in.
So, okay. Mind blown. So we've touched on this before. As a Christian, you believe that there is a heaven and there is a hell. When you die, you go to one or the other. Right. So,
oh God.
If you go to a place and you get pushed by a non-human, non-flesh-bearing person.
Right. If I'm pushed by something that I can't see.
Right. And can't explain away.
Right. What is it? Yeah. I don't know. Like, the part of me, the part that was raised with my mom's religion would say it was either a demon or an angel. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I feel like could be demonic or it could be angel. But at the same time, I'm just like, I put a big question mark on it.
But by demon or angel, you mean somebody that has already passed on, got their wings or whatever.
I mean something that was here before we were ever here.
Okay.
Like something that is not human at all.
Right.
Right. Which a lot of people are going to be like, Amby, you're an idiot. I'm like, that's okay. I'm not going to poo-poo on your parade. I mean something that was, biblically speaking.
Okay, something that has been here for eons.
Right. Something that started when it started.
Gotcha.
According to, what I believe, when it started.
So nothing along the lines of a guardian angel necessarily.
I will. Don't get me wrong, because I do believe in guardian angels.
Right.
And if something's going to harm me, I believe they would push me out of something.
Fair.
Like if I'm getting ready to get into something,
right,
then I'm not, and I'm not listening, or they're like, hey, you're an idiot, back up, watch out, what you doing? I would want them to push
almost
me out
like,
of the way.
A car's coming, push you out of the way.
Push me out of the way.
Right.
Or they're like, look, I'm here.
See,
push me out of the way.
This is me, and by no means do I mean this directed towards you necessarily.
Right.
But if I believed as strongly as you believe, which at one point I believe I did. I mean, you can't think you're going to be a youth minister and not believe very strongly about the religion you're going to go on and do. But if I believed as strongly as you that you leave and you go to heaven or you go to hell, and then something otherworldly, we'll put, made contact with me or did something that I couldn't explain away, that would almost... No, I would say it would venture to make me second guess my belief.
Okay, sure.
In a sense that, well, there's this A or there's B, because as Christians and Bible, you're meant to do those, right?
Right.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts.
Right.
Which, circling back, I think that's the great thing about the creep over. Is that they don't get into a religious standpoint, but they both come from not even necessarily a religious background, but a faith-based background.
Right.
That is centered around a set religion.
Right.
Or a set of rules, or something along those lines. So they come at it from almost your angle, but a little bit more of the... Because, I mean, they mess with a freaking Ouija board.
Right.
I won't do that.
Which I won't either, but that's just me.
But I want my tarot cards read.
Which...
I want my card in my palm read. Right. Something awful. Something awful.
Well, I mean, I personally just don't want to open a door I can't close.
But with tarots and palm readings, that's not opening a door.
I feel like it would open some sort of door.
How?
Because don't they have to use... This makes me sound weird. Powers of some sort. Like, what are they reading? How are they reading it? What form are... How are they reading it?
So, from what I understand, and I could be totally wrong, but from what I understand, your aura, or your... whatever, which is why you have to shuffle the cards, and separate the cards, cut the cards. Your being is put into those cards. And that's how, almost like a...
I may be too close breathing on this. I apologize.
Trial and error.
Right.
Kind of like a what you put into the world, you get back kind of a thing. Kind of like a karma thing. But that's, from my understanding, that's why you have to cut the cards. That's why you have to shuffle the cards. Because it puts your essence into them. And then all the person does is interpret them.
Right.
So they don't actually have anything to do with the cards themselves. It's just they interpret whatever is on the top. The palm reading is nothing other than... I'm not going to say it's phooey. I'm not going to say,
I don't understand it, so I'm not going to knock it.
But I just want somebody who's more experienced to read it, because they can explain more than just reading a card and reading the meaning. Because I could read the meaning, doesn't mean I understand it. Right. Ask my English teachers in high school.
Right.
I read it, doesn't mean I understand it.
Right.
So that's not necessarily opening a door. However, today, listening to the podcast, Ouija boards, which I will never own one. I'm very firmly against that, because my mother had one, my brother had one, but I think they handled them wrong, according to what I heard today. Which, these girls are very educated.
Oh, yeah.
Super educated. Sometimes I feel like I need to look up the words that they say so that I'm in the know on the conversation.
I have to use, Google to help me spell stuff.
Yeah.
How do I really spell this?
Yeah. What does this mean? So, super educated. They do their research, which is
incredible. They do the research, yes.
Incredible. So very credited, because they go from the gamut. One episode they were like, this is the most credited one versus the not so credited one.
And they always list their resources as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's great, but when they were reading how to handle the Ouija board is that when you ask a question, you have to ask specific questions to the people you want to answer, because otherwise you open a door.
Right.
Which I'm like, okay, I can understand that. So maybe my mom and my brother didn't use it properly, and that's what opened a door for them in a very negative way. But that terrifies me at the same time, because I told April the same thing. I was like, you can't always know who's answering that door.
Right.
Like, you don't know who's going to be on the other side of that door when you open that door.
Right.
Where with a tarot card reading, it's just you.
Right.
Like, it's just your essence, and it's somebody's interpretation of what's going on.
Right.
Hopefully a skilled person's interpretation. Right. But, no.
I guess from my standpoint, it's like I definitely with a Ouija board, I'm not going to open a door I can't close. Mm-mm. I guess with the reading of the palms or whatever, I've never felt a need to do it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, from my standpoint, I know who I am in Christ. Mm-hmm. And I know what my goal is. And I know what I'm called to do is right. To love. I don't feel like having that done is going to give me any of the answers I already have.
Yeah.
But that's just from me.
Right.
That's just from my standpoint. Now, if you want to get it, tell me what they say. Let me know. But I put all of what I need in Christ. Right. And he has yet to fail me. Right. And I know that doesn't happen for all people, and I completely get it. I understand. I mean, religion, I'm not religious. I don't like the word religious, because religion ruins things. Period.
It really does.
And religion ruins people. Period. I don't think God ever intended us to have a religion. Right. He wanted us to have a relationship. And that's my goal. And as I treat God as my father, mm-hmm. and I respect him and I love him, and he just wants to love people. Yeah. And I think Christians have ruined that look. Yeah. Completely ruined it.
100% agree with that.
And when I talk to people about God, I don't want them to be like, oh, you're one of those people. No.
Bible, thump, 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 thump.
I'm not going to throw the Bible at you.
Sometimes you want to.
I do, but
you're like, you know what?
It's because I'm angry. It has nothing. It's a book. I'm going to throw it at you.
You know what? I think that's maybe where Baptists get slapping the pulpit so much.
I don't know, but I know from my experience that if I didn't seek out God myself, I would not be a Christian today, because people hurt me. People have used God as a tool to bend people to their wills.
Well, they manipulate the word.
Right.
It's the same way with anything that we say here. Right. People can manipulate it to make it sound like, oh, Abby's not as godly as she likes to pretend, whatever, because of anything that we're saying.
Right. I mean, that's...
But I think...
I'm curious, too.
Yeah.
That's a nature. I'm curious, too. I'd like to know what's going on.
Well, because we're not all-knowing. Mm-mm. There's always going to be something curious. Right. The difference is some of us choose to go down that rabbit hole, and others are standing guard, waiting for the findings.
So that's fine. If you don't want the relationship with God that I have, that's your choice. Yeah. I'm not going to force you to do it. I'm not going to force anybody to do it. I'm not going to be like, well, you have to do it. And I mean, I listen to history podcasts because I like podcasts. And throughout histories, I just see Christians after Christians after Christians not being godly. Right. And not being what love should be.
It was funny because they were talking about history and because huge history buff. Right. Which is awesome because I know jack about history. Very much like, yeah, you could absolutely tell me and I'd be like, mm-hmm.
Well, side note, listen to it's something dead to me. It's a good podcast. I'll show you later.
I was like, can I get through this one? Can I get caught up with this one?
No, you need another one. You need another one.
I'm like 12 out of 97.
No, get caught up with this one. This one's good.
Episode 97 coming May 7th.
You're
and
dead
I'm like,
to me. That's what it is.
12. I'm just at 12. Yeah.
It's a history podcast, though.
But they had said, nope, lost it. Doesn't matter.
So sorry.
That's okay.
What did they say?
I don't remember.
You'll find out eventually.
It's fine. It's fine. But I love the fact that they come at it from a very open, very open heart, open mind, open idea. And they're very much people.
Right, they're very much people.
And I love that. The dynamic is incredible. I can see why they're, I can absolutely see why they're a couple. Funny as hell.
I love the fact that I can joke and they get it. And I'm just like, yes, score. And they don't look at me with judgment. That's
they're
great.
like, Abby, you're so funny.
I don't know, but
was that a good impression? Maybe it wasn't.
You were awful. You did no justice there.
It's the deep.
It's the deep voice.
It's the deepness.
I don't know, but
it's my deep voice. Can't do girly girl stuff no more.
But no, I like
that's my Oklahoma coming out.
I would basically this is all the things that I love.
Okay, number one,
I love Jesus. I love Jesus. Okay, we're gonna go with that.
Oh, I thought we were talking specifically about the podcast.
No. These are the things. These are things I love in my life completely.
Oh, okay. So number one, Jesus.
My family. So these are the things I'd die for.
That you would die for?
I would die for.
Okay.
Jesus. My family. My friends. And the Creep Over podcast.
But that's only 4.
I know. That's it.
That's it?
Like everybody else can just
take a long walk off a short pier?
Yeah, that's it. But you
might throw them a buoy, but you're not bringing it back in.
We're going to have to be specific about my family.
We're going to have to be Pacific about it.
When it comes to my family...
Pacific Western Time.
It's everybody but my 2 uncles that I don't like.
Everybody.
That are dead to me. But this is Jesus, my family, my friends, and the Creep Over podcast.
Gotcha.
Which they line up with friends, so technically there's only 3 things.
And some of the friends venture over into family.
Right.
So, it's a blurred line.
Get out of here. But here's the thing.
Did you just say get out of here?
I did.
This is my house.
I know. But here's the things I love about the Creep Over.
Oh, are we? Okay, now. Okay, hang on.
Do that.
Hang on. I need to get serious. Hang on.
Oh my
God. For those of you on Spotify, I just popped the collar I don't have. I am currently in a tank top and I popped my collar. Okay. Wait for it. You ready? Things
that I love about the Creep. I can't do this.
No, yeah, I know you can do this. Hang on.
Falling apart.
You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, now for your listening pleasure.
God.
Things that Abby loves about the Creep Over podcast.
Things I love about the Creep Over podcast. Well, Catherine and Allie.
Wait, is that one?
No, that's one.
That's one. Okay.
That's them. That's just them.
Okay.
Them as a whole.
The hosts?
The hosts. Just them as a whole. I love everything about them. Yeah, the hostesses with the mostesses.
The hostesses?
I have a hard time with
the hostesses. The hostesses?
Mm-hmm.
The girls.
The girls.
The women. Women. They're women. They're women.
They are women.
They are. They're very powerful women.
They are very powerful. I love how much they put into it. Like, they put a lot of effort into it.
They really do. For a weekly thing, this is some absurd...
An awesome thing.
Yeah, we don't edit at all. Like,
we don't.
This is what you get.
We are trash compared to them.
Wait for it. We're trailer trash.
We're trailer trash. And no, I'm just kidding.
Because I've already admitted we do this in a mobile home, so we are trailer trash.
Anyways, continuing.
Okay, so that's number 2.
Number 2, they put a lot of effort into it.
They do.
They put
really
a lot of hard work into it. It's worth it.
They edit.
Yeah.
They research.
They do.
They edit beautifully.
Yeah.
And we're just like fly by the seat of our pants.
Most of the time we're on fire.
We're waving them in the wind. Okay, number 3.
I love how open and they have that open arm personality, like that open arm, like
running through the field of daisies with their arms open, ready to hug anybody that just happens to run up, even if it's a serial killer.
Yeah, well,
because they're gonna open their arms
and then take them down,
and then immediately just body slam them in a field of daisies.
For some reason, I can picture Allie just grabbing their head and like boom, running like.
You know what though? Catherine's the redhead. I think she could do some serious meanness. I'm married a redhead. I know what is holed up in those roots.
I don't think I'm going to comment on that one.
It's anger.
It's anger.
It's anger.
But what number am I on?
That was 3.
That was 3.
Number 4.
Number 4, I just like I think 4 goes in with everything. But they bring a family aspect to it. Like they
include people.
Yeah. They make you feel family. They bring you in. And I just love every episode. I don't think I've listened to an episode yet that I'm like, you suck, turn off. I haven't. It's a podcast worth binging over.
It really, I mean, I can
binge this podcast.
I can attest to that. I have been binging this podcast. Right. I turn it on the moment I leave my house. Mm-hmm. I listen to half an episode on my drive in. Mm-hmm. I finish the episode to my first delivery, and I listen to it the whole time. I come home and I charge my earbuds. Mm-hmm. I carried 2 pairs of earbuds with me. 2 pairs.
Nice.
So yes, it is definitely one worth binging.
And I mean, honestly...
And I am not a binger.
No.
Unless it's eating. I like to binge eat.
And when I first started working this job that I'm working, I was having a rough go of it, to tell you the truth. And I would listen to their podcast. I would binge it.
Thanks for not making a fat joke.
What do you mean?
Because I said I like to binge eat. But go ahead.
I missed it. I missed it.
You did. Because I was like, unless it's eating. And you didn't even make a fat joke. Thanks. Right. I don't even care if you missed it.
I missed it, but
I appreciate it. High five.
That would be mean of me. Anyways.
That's what this podcast is about. Just being mean to each other. Not to everybody else. Just to each other.
Let's just say I binged this podcast listening to it. And
how can you binge it when you're caught up?
I re-listen to them.
Oh, do you?
I like when I got through the first...
You're like, I have a whole week before they put out another episode.
Like, literally, I'll just sit there and I'll just go and pick through and be like, I haven't heard this in a while, and I'll just listen to it. Because they're so funny, and they bring so much joy, and I could be having the crappiest day of my life, and be like, fork you all, I'm going to go listen to the Creepover, and I stick it in my ear, and I go out, and, there's a lot of movement and stuff during my job.
No, absolutely.
I mean, this week it started off with a pissed off week. Just tell you, I was already pissed off the get-go.
Yeah, you're like, it's Monday. Stupid Monday.
Stupid Monday, I hate you. And so I just popped in my headphones, and while I was doing my route, just listening to it.
Yeah.
I think I got through like 3.5 episodes.
Nice. Yeah.
The first day, and then the second day. And then I'd go back and forth between that one and Tuesday. I went back and forth between that one and the history podcast I like listening to. Then,
that'd be cool if they coincided. Yeah. Like all of the stuff that Allie brings on a history.
Right.
Because she's the history buff, right?
No, I think that's Catherine.
Is it?
That's Catherine.
I am so sorry. Like I said,
I think she has a history minor. I think I just listened to an episode where she has the history minor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm still struggling with who's who. I can point them out. I can tell you which one is which in their picture. I know this. Their voices still have not clicked on which one is which.
They do sound similar.
They do. They really do. So,
but you can pick them out.
The history buff. I'm just like, really?
Right. They were doing an episode on Julius Caesar, and I was like, because they were doing assassinations. Which you haven't gotten there yet.
Nope, that is in the 90s.
Right.
It's going to take me a few weeks.
So I was listening to you. As soon as I finished that episode, I was like, I'm going to go listen to that on the history podcast. So I switched over to the history podcast about Julius Caesar.
Did you find anything
different? No.
No?
It's pretty spot on. Like,
you know that they're like, we should listen to the history podcast about this first.
No. No.
As they're editing one, they're like listening to the next week's history stuff. Like
no, but she like everything that they said the history wise.
Yeah,
is pretty much spot on with what they said in the history podcast.
So you know what I would love to do?
Tacos. Never mind. Anyways,
I mean, I'm gonna say yes, tacos. I would love to eat some tacos. I would love at some point because I already told you this when I wasn't in the know that they lived. In Oregon now.
Right.
I would love to do a podcast with them.
Yeah. Two.
We could do 2 podcasts.
Because we would
one on theirs and one on ours.
Because they would be like geniuses, and we're sitting here going, well,
I would be the idiot making jokes in the background, like
I got this book on sharks.
I would be making the inappropriate jokes. Let's just face it.
And this is the book I carry with me a lot. It's off topic, but I carry with me all the time. It's a
Pocket Genius.
Pocket Genius. It's a book's about shark. It's a fact shark. Sharks facts.
There is frustration right there.
I know.
There is. Hang on, 145 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a page number. Just give me a number between. Does it start on page 1? Or is it like one of the... No, it starts on page 4.
It gives you all kinds of like information about the shark.
4 to 100, and what did I already say? See, I've already lost it.
147, 45? Was it 45?
100 and... I don't know, fascinating facts, maybe? 100. I went to 145, but fascinating facts goes to 149.
127.
Ooh.
27 is my favorite number, so.
And then you just put a 1 in front of it because why not?
Because why not?
Because why not? Get it?
Why not?
Why not?
There's facts about rays back there as well.
Rays?
Yeah. Because.
Oh, love it. Already high five. Guitar fish. About 50 species of guitar fish have been identified. Some of them are called Gibson. Others are called
Fender.
Yeah. Good job. You have read this book. And they belong in 2 orders.
What do you mean?
Acoustic and electric.
Sorry, I started.
Yes. You realize that's the only thing that sounds girly on me now is my laugh. My laugh sounds a little girly.
We should end every episode now with
random sharkness.
Random shark facts.
Just random. I need a trivia book. Okay. Guys, I need a trivia book.
I have a shark trivia book at
home.
No,
just a random trivia book.
Oh, just a random
completely random trivia
I can find one.
I think we should get one.
I have one.
I mean, we have the internet at our fingertips. Let's not... But I want, like, legit random ass trivia that I can go page, whatever.
Right.
Kind of like our WebMD thing that didn't last very long.
Because it's not as funny as I thought it would be.
That, and it's super scary, because I'm like,
let's not...
April has that. And then I start fearing... Remember? Because I said that one time that April had it. No, hang on. Guitar fish. These creatures have ray-like fins. Oh, you knew rays.
Yeah.
But their hind body is narrower like a shark.
Mm-hmm.
A thornback guitarfish, Atlantic guitarfish, focus on the shape, is what they say. This one looks more like an arrowhead, and it says common guitarfish. This fish hunts its prey either by swimming slowly along the bottom of the seabed. What else does that?
What do you mean slowly around the seabed?
They just kind of along the bottom of this...
You mean like,
Yeah, what is that?
Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. Oh my gosh.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
because that's exactly what it kind of looks like.
And also, at some point, I think it digs under the sand. I may be getting that one wrong. But it, like, burrows in.
Yeah, or lying partially buried in the sand and ambushing its prey.
Right.
Common guitarfish feeds on shrimp, crabs, and small fish. Oh, no, we can't be friends. I don't like fish.
Well... Fish are friends.
Not
food. Except for dolphins.
Stupid dolphins.
Stupid dolphins.
Skates? Oh, I just feel like somebody was like, we're running out of names. What's the thing next? Oh, man. Yeah. Snaggletooth shark. I feel like that's my spirit animal.
I'm related to it at some point.
Me too.
Snaggletooth.
Have you seen my teeth as a kid?
Have you seen my snaggles?
No, have you seen my teeth as a kid?
No.
Close.
Oh, that's very close. Like, people are like on Spotify, like, what are you looking at?
Google snaggletooth shark.
Google snaggletooth shark.
For you guys at home, hang on. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I look like as a kid.
Well,
more pig-nosed, but that's what I look like as a kid.
I'll show you what my,
Get it? Pig. Never mind.
I love these. I love all of these sharks, actually. But I'm trying to find
That's how Abby's going to go, by the way.
Yeah.
She's going to be up in heaven. Thank God they restore your body parts that you missed, because she's going to be so disfigured when she goes. They're going to have to cremate you.
Probably.
Hey, speaking of cremation, I donated my body to science.
Well, I mean, you're not going to use it, so...
No, I mean,
might as well.
But here's the thing. You can donate your body to science and be an organ donor. Mm-hmm. So I'm doing double good, which will probably, hopefully, maybe... outweigh the bad that I've done. Like corrupting you a little bit.
Anyways, I like to say I look like this big-eyed thrasher shark.
But you have small eyes.
No, but this guy looks concerned about
Okay, I'm
life.
ready.
You ready to look at him?
I'm ready. He looks like he's seen some shit.
He does. He looks very concerned.
He looks like he's... Oops, where is he at? He looks like he's seen some shit.
Concerned. He's like...
Yeah.
So if you don't... people on Spotify, go look up Big-Eyed Thrasher Shark and look how concerned this shark looks. This shark looks very concerned. Like
he's just roaming around, suffering PTSD from everything he's ever seen.
And he just
can't even blink. He can't even blink anymore. He's so scared to blink because of the things that he's seen.
He lives in a state of angst. That's it. That's this state of angst.
This poor guy has seen.
It looks like a look.
He's like, he's wandering around. You have no idea what I just saw,
man. Did you see?
Did you see what that stingray did?
What does this world come to? All right, we'll say something for later.
Yeah, we are an hour and 15 minutes in.
But this was a good. We did some.
I mean, it was kind of funny, and then it was very deep, and then it was kind of pulling ourselves back out of the hole.
I will say in July I'm going to the Crescent Hotel, which is reported to be haunted. Mm-hmm. I'm going by myself.
Okay.
And we'll see what happens.
Have you ever been to the Crescent Hotel?
I have not.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you this, and people can back me up or they can't back me up. I don't really flippin' care at this point. April and I went. Mm-hmm. I wanted to take her on a ghost tour, but they weren't doing them at the time. We went for, I think, our anniversary. Mm-hmm. And it was a free roaming tour. We didn't stay. Right. But I can tell you, I got some weird friggin' vibes in there.
Which... I just recorded a story for my brother, which I'm sending to the Creepover podcast. Yeah. Surprise! That he had what happened to him during the tour.
Yeah. So I mean, nothing actually happened.
It's just creepy,
but just that uneasy feeling. And it wasn't. I mean, it's not like I was alone because it was a very busy part of the hotel. Right. But it was just that feeling. Right. And I don't get that often, but when I do, I tend to pay attention to it.
Hmm. Well, I'll keep that in mind.
But it could have just been some weird vibe somebody else was putting off too. Maybe it was some creeper there staring at me that I didn't see. Right. Get it? That I didn't see.
I'm done with you tonight. Anyways, I'm going in July, so we'll see what happens. Okay. We'll see what happens. I'll report back.
Yep. Go after your birthday so you can say you made it to 33.
I'm going the day after my birthday.
Okay, good. Yeah. So you made it to 33.
Right. Made it to 33. At least.
That's good.
Jesus made it to 33, so.
Hey, if it's good enough for him.
Yeah. So I'm going...
So he was crucified. Let's hope that you have a better ending than that.
Yeah, but he came back, so...
Yes, but you're not him.
I'm not. I try to be, but
if you come back, will you come back and mystify yourself in my room and we can still do this podcast?
I'd be like, Crash, I'm out, bye.
As you fade slowly away.
It's been real. It's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun. I'm kidding. Maybe I'll get pushed. They're like, how dare you talk to Crash like that?
And I know.
Boom, push me.
Maybe.
I may do a live. I may stream myself live before I get ready to go to bed or whatever. I don't know.
Make sure you have a full battery because I hear that's pretty.
They drain batteries.
Yep, because they drain. I've heard that they drain batteries to get energy to manifest themselves.
No. So I'm determined not to hear any more stories. I'm gonna go in with no preconceived notions or anything like that. I'm just gonna go in and see.
All the stories, according to you, has been debunked. But for a skeptic, I'm just saying, make sure you have a full battery.
I will. I'll take that advice.
Yes. Make sure you have a full battery. Right. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in, listening.
Sorry if it was bored. If you got, half of you are probably already asleep and done.
Wake up!
Oh my God. All right. Good luck, Godspeed. Have fun. Have a good one.
Bye. Bye.